have lots of questions for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
I have been studying about you all day yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I had great time with watching all your interviews.
Oh, yeah?
It was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I never watched anything. You know, I did 100 television shows for the Food Network.
I know.
I haven't watched one yet.
Why not?
Because I'm so self-conscious. And then I look and I said, oh, why did I touch my nose? Why did I do this? Why did I do that?
I do the same. I can't even listen to my own voice.
Uh-huh. So I don't do that. So it's so funny. But at the beginning, when I started TV in the 80s, for Good Morning America, you know, ABC in the morning, it was so hard that the producer, before, because I was new doing that, she said, let me show you what you did wrong last time.
Oh.
And you see, she said, you didn't look at the camera, you didn't look at the host, you just looked down on the food. And she complained all the time. So I was so nervous going on to the next show. I said, should I just look at the camera or should I cook? I said, I don't want to see.
Actually, you should just leave it to you natural. Because it's better then. Otherwise...
Exactly. If it's not, it's like a scripted thing, it's not good.
And I didn't know you were also acting.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Sometimes,
Look
yeah.
at you. And
But
Seinfeld and everything.
Yeah.
And I heard that there were some part in Die Hard 1 that the guy was saying, oh, how could you not have a seat for me? I don't need any reservation because I know Mr.
Wolfgang Puck'la, you're right, yeah.
I studied a lot and I was like,
oh, you read up more than me.
Oh,
you know more about me than I know.
I study a lot.
She's a good student. Right?
Yeah. I can see. I mean, not many people know that thing about Die Hard. I forgot it already. See, when I write my book, I have to call you because you know everything.
So. No problem. Okay, I prepared some questions.
Okay.
There are some like regular questions. There are some like little funnier questions. So, first one is, how did you become a Michelin star chef?
Well, it all started when I was a kid in Austria. My mother was a chef, so I started to cook there in the hotel where she worked in the summertime, like during the summer vacation.
She was a pastry chef, I thought.
You're a pastry chef, but also chef. She did everything a little bit. Yeah, she when the pastry chef was off, she did pastries, and then she did the cold station, the salad station. So she was very good. And then when I was 14, I left school and started to cook. In a hotel, an apprenticeship until 17, and then I wanted to learn more, and I went to France. And then in France, I found out they have 1, 2, 3-star restaurants. So when I worked in this restaurant, and everybody in Dijon, it was in Dijon, and everybody said, oh, that's the capital gastronomique of France, and the best restaurants are here. And I was 17 years old, 18 years old. I said, it must be true. But then, when the Guide Michelin came out, so they had a party at the restaurant, and we had 1 star because we kept the 1 star, whatever it was. And then I looked through and I said, oh my God, there are 2-star restaurants and 3-star restaurants. So then I said, I have to go and work in one. So I wrote to all the 3-star restaurants, and then Beaumanière, which is in Les Beaux-Provence in south of France, they were the first one to answer yes. So I started to work there, and I was really there when I was 19 years old that I said, this is what I want to do. Before, I wasn't sure if I'm going to stay cooking or do something different, but I saw the owner there was the chef, but also he was so creative and did everything his own style. And he used to go out in the dining room, talk to the customers. I remember he brought Picasso back into the kitchen, and I mean, it was like amazing. Everybody was like the Queen of England, all the famous movie stars like Yves Montand and all these guys used to come to the restaurant. I said, I want to be like him. On top of it, he painted also. And I love art, and I don't have enough time to paint.
Really?
I would love to paint, yeah. So I think, so that's how it really started. Then I said, I want to do what he does. I want to be like him, own my own restaurant. And then he also had another restaurant, a smaller one. And I was the chef there after 2 years at Beaumanière. Then I was the chef in this restaurant when I was 20 years old. Yeah, and then moved to Paris. First to Monaco a little bit, then to Paris. and then to the United States. And I started in Indianapolis, and from there I went to Los Angeles, and then I worked in a restaurant called Ma Maison, and we had a lot of customers. Like I was very good friends with Orson Welles. I met Gene Kelly there, and I used to play tennis with Gene after him having lunch. We used to go play tennis, or Jack Lemmon, you know, all these people who are basically dead now. They used to come to the restaurant all the time.
How did you become so famous?
You know, timing is important. It's like how you meet, you know, how do we meet a wife or a husband or whatever? It's like God wanted it or something, you know. So I think it's an interesting thing to see that I went to LA. I could have stayed maybe in New York or whatever. I didn't like New York or Indianapolis. And I said, no, I want to go to Los Angeles. And, you know, and then there were not many restaurants really who were interested in me. There were good restaurants, but more like, we call them continental restaurants, with some Italian dishes, some French dishes, but not really well done. Nobody checked the ingredients really well. So when I went there, I said, this is California, it's like south of France. There must be some people who farm and who have vegetables or fruits and everything. So I drove around on my day off. And then through a friend, like I found a farmer near San Diego, which is 2 hours by car. And they had amazing vegetables, amazing strawberries, like 10 kinds of strawberries and maybe 20 kinds of tomatoes and great white corn and everything. So, and I said, I'm gonna come every other day and pick the vegetables here, because I always believe great cooking starts with great ingredients. So then I started that, and I kept the food simple, not too complicated. And I think people really liked it, because I said, our climate is not like you want to eat a heavy creamy sauce. You know, at that time there's a lot of heavy sauces and everything. People eat more cleaner things, but of good quality. And then everybody showed up at the restaurant when I opened Spago.
Beautiful. And how did you become a Michelin star chef?
Well, then maybe 15 years ago or 10 years ago, the Michelin guide came there and actually rated restaurants. Before that, it wasn't. And to me, I always say the Michelin stars are not that important.
Of course.
To me, every customer is really important. You know, if I have no stars and I have regular people come all the time, they are to me my stars, and they are the most important thing. And I told that once to the food critic of the New York Times. And I said, you know, food critics are good, but they don't come to the restaurant. They come once and then they write something good or bad.
And that's it.
And I told him, like, for me, it's more important that Billy Wilder comes and Sidney Poitier comes and all these people come than a food critic. So she wrote a bad article about me that I'm arrogant and I got no thought.
How come? How come somebody would say you're arrogant?
I know, but maybe I was a little bit more arrogant when I was young. But still not, I didn't mean it that way. I basically told her, for me the most important thing is when people go home and they say, I can't wait to come back, or on the way home, they already made a reservation for next week to come to. I said, that's for me is what is important.
That's what happened to us.
Yeah.
We come here, we ate that salmon pizza, and you're like shaking at home. Oh, we should go to Spago. We should go to Spago. And we keep saying people, and whoever come here, they like it too. So it's also a good thing. Like when you buy something.
The best publicity is word of mouth.
Of course.
Now it's amplified with this. It's like now you can tell 3 friends. Now with this you tell 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000.
Now everybody is criticizing.
This is like music with an amplifier. You know, like Pink Floyd when they play, they have the big amplifier. We have that, and it's really an amazing thing, because still we rely on word of mouth. The critics today, they are important, but not like they used to be. Because now, if somebody texts you a picture of a dish and said this was so delicious, and you know them, you're gonna say, I have to go.
Exactly.
You don't wait for a newspaper, magazine, or anything.
And when you are like really sincere, people even get hungry when you were talking.
Exactly. So I think that's really, for me, really the most important thing is that people who come to the restaurant, that they leave happy, and hopefully, I always tell them, the best compliment is when they say, I can't wait to come back, or they make a reservation on the way out.
Beautiful. Right. Okay, let's come to the second one. How long have you been cooking professionally? But you already answered that. Since you're like 14.
Yeah, now I'm
you
26, so
You're
8 years.
26, so yeah, it's not much.
You know, when I tell young people I'm cooking for 50 years, they look at me. But the most important thing, I still enjoy it.
Of course.
You know, I love to cook at home for my family.
I know. I seen your kitchen.
Yeah, I built a beautiful kitchen.
All of you were in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You're all cooking together. They're helping.
Yeah.
How old are they now, little kids?
The little one, 10 and 8.
10 and 8. Oh, beautiful. What was the name?
Alexander and Oliver.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I have one guy, my 20-year-old, I was married before. Byron, he goes to Cornell, which is a famous hotel school in like Lausanne here in Europe, you know. He goes to Cornell for the hotel and restaurant management school. But this summer, I sent him to Girona in Spain to El Cella de Con Roca, you know, who was voted #1 by the San Pellegrino thing. So he cooked there this summer, and then he came home and made dinner for us and everything.
So he's following his father's path. Beautiful.
In a different style, because the young kids like the technology and everything, more so than the ingredients. I tell everybody my cooking is based on the ingredients. And then we try not to mess it up, we try to enhance them. But the young kids, they want to have all the chemicals and all
like
this
molecular
exactly.
Gastronomy.
And he loves that. Because it's young.
Of course, to me
It's like chemistry, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is. It's like
and some things are very good and interesting, and some things, you know, at the end, it has to taste good.
Exactly.
If it's not delicious, it doesn't matter how you made it, how complicated or whatever, you don't care.
We need some little gel of that and some bubbles of that, but it's not enough for your eye.
I tell them always, you know, if you want to make a foam, it has to have flavor.
Exactly.
It's not the foam is important, it's the flavor.
Flavor itself. Exactly. So it's saying here, where did you train to cook? But you already said that you had apprenticeship first.
Yeah.
You had it with your wife.
But it was really at Beaumanière where I found my mentor.
What was his name? Let me see. I write it here already.
Raymond Tullier.
Raymond Tullier is his mentor. See?
Oh my God, you're more than prepared.
I'm afraid of her.
Yeah, I know. You better watch out what you do.
I'm all about
She said, I know where you were last night. What did you eat? What did you drink? It's all here.
See, I already had the questions and the answer, but only this one. And I said, how would you describe your style of cooking? But you already said that.
It's very personal to me. Cooking is like painting or writing a song. You know, you have so many love songs out there. Still, people write new ones all the time, and paintings the same. How many more paintings do we need to paint? Everybody has his own style, maybe. So I like to find my own style. It's not French, it's not English, it's not Italian. It's my own style. So, for example, the smoked salmon pizza. I did a television show in Napoli, and in a famous pizza place called Brandy, where they said they made the first pizza margarita. So I made it with them, and it was terrible. The pizza was burned on the bottom and everything. But then I made a joke. I ordered some smoked salmon, and I made him a smoked salmon pizza. And the guy looked at it and said, "What did you make with my pizza?" I said, "Well, I made something which tastes good."
I also remember you saying there were some really famous restaurant owner, Bocuse, Mr. Bocuse or something. So you went there, and there were in the menu they were saying
Spago pizza. Yeah, you're right. At Bocuse in Lyon.
Yeah, I was asking, what's the difference of that pizza? And the guy said, "Oh, all of our pizza are Italian."
That was him. So I go to Bocuse in Lyon to his restaurant. I walk into the kitchen. He introduces me to his chef there, and on the pass there was a smoked salmon pizza. So I said, "What is that, Paul?" And he said, He showed me the menu, and he said, "Look, Spago pizza." So then my 10-year-old is a big soccer fanatic. He loves soccer, and he loves Manchester United. And he's so upset that Van Persie came to Istanbul. He's playing here at not Galatasaray, the other one. Fenerbahce. Yeah. And so we go to Manchester, and it's terrible. It's like going on vacation to Ankara. You don't want to go to a place like that. And we go to, I said, where is there a restaurant so I can take my children, the younger ones? And they were like 2 years, that was 2 years ago, so it was 8 and 6. I said, hopefully they have some pasta or pizza. So they sent me to this restaurant, Italian restaurant. And they had pizzas, and I look at the menu and they said Spago pizza. So I called the waiter. I said, "What is this Spago pizza?"
Did he know who you are?
No,
No.
I didn't tell him.
So he was saying, all of our pizza are Italian.
Yeah. I said, "Oh, we have an Italian pizza chef and this and that." And he said it's with smoked salmon. It's very delicious. And he went on and on explaining me.
So did you taste it at all? Did you
I didn't
like
order it.
No?
I didn't order it. I said, I don't want to taste it because if it's not good, I'm going to have to tell him.
Oh, of course. Oh God, it's a coffee pizza. Okay, let me see. I said, how would you describe your restaurant and team? Let's say Spago.
You know, we open very few restaurants. We get offers all over the world. I could be in Bombay, in Delhi, in Paris, in Madrid, and South America. But if I don't have the chefs and the manager to run it, would be very difficult because they don't know me, they don't know our culture, the way we want to serve people. So we open very little, very few restaurants. And people might think, you know, we do a lot, we have a lot of restaurants, but I'm doing it for many years already too. So it's not something new. And to me, like the team here, like I knew when Bella was with me already for 7-8 years, and to come here, the same thing with the sous chef and the pastry chef. So if I know that the principals in the kitchen, I know they work with me, they know my culture, they know what I like. And even if I hire somebody from Ducasse or Bocuse, it's a different style. So I want them, you know, and I tell them always, you know what, we are here to serve the customers. I don't pay them, the customers are paying them.
Sure.
And they have to understand it. And a lot of people say, oh, my paycheck, I want a raise. So if they want a raise, I said, okay, do more business, then you get a raise, you know, because it's the customers who pay you. But we only open restaurants when we have a really good team. And we really work as a team. Like tomorrow night, we are doing this party here, Chinese party, yeah. And
So
I
it's
have
going to be Chinese.
Chinese, yeah. Yeah, totally Chinese, because we have Chinese restaurants too. And good ones, very good ones. Yeah. And so I have the chef from Dubai came here, the chef from London came here, David, and Raymond from Dubai came.
So just for tomorrow night?
Just for tomorrow night. To make sure it's done right.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think, you know, whenever we do something, I don't hesitate to spend the money, you know. I could say I can save $2,000 from a trip from London here or from Dubai or whatever it is, but it's not about the money. It's my business, I always think it's in the long range. I want people to come back, so I want people to have an experience. So we have to spend the money to give people the experience. And then in the long run, we could make a little more money today, but maybe in 2 years we are out of business. And a lot of people think that way.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, like we have now in LA, we had all these new restaurants, like Alma and Winston and Churchill, all these young chefs, and they're very expensive. Not, I mean, at least as expensive as Spago or Cut, like at that level, you know. And I left, like from restaurants like that, I said, you know, if I would have paid 50% of that, I might have been okay. But I don't want to spend $250 a person and have no comfort and have nothing really a good ingredient, like an expensive ingredient. No lobster, no truffles, no caviar, no Kobe steak or nothing. So I said, you know, if they charge $125 just for the food, you want something
Really?
because the decor is very simple, the service is very simple, so the knife and fork cheap, our cheap. So I said, they charge luxury prices. It's like if you go to a Holiday Inn and they charge you $500 a room, you're gonna say that's not right.
Yeah. Why?
And that's the way I thought about that. Yet, magazines like Bon Appetit, which is famous, wrote the best new restaurant in America. I was happy because it's in LA. I said, I want LA to look good, you know?
Sure.
But then I went, I said, if that is the best new restaurant in America, then we are in deep trouble. Because it was good, but not.
Right.
I wouldn't write my sister or my mother a letter about it, you know? So, and we went through the dinner, and it was okay. Maybe you go once. Did I want to go back? No. Even I can write it off on my business, so it's not like I can't spend the money. But it's not like I don't want to sit for 3 hours and have that food. No. We went to El Cela de Con Roca, which is in Girona in Spain, where my son was working. And over there, if it's $500 for two, I said it's a great deal because it was really interesting. Not only just interesting, but the flavors were really good. You say, oh my God, this is really delicious. You didn't expect it almost to be that good. You expected it maybe to look good, but not taste it good.
Of course. Two of them together is really rare to find. I see. So your chef and sous chef here, were you working with them together?
Absolutely.
Back?
They worked with us already. Like Pelek was the chef in Maui for many years, and I was sitting over there on the terrace, like it's like in Maui, the terrace, except we don't look on the city, we look on the sea. Yeah.
I also heard your first story about, beside the US, the Japanese people came to you.
Oh, that's when I started Spago. Yeah, when I started Spago, it was so crazy, so busy. I the first time I owned a restaurant, so I was responsible not just for the food, but for the whole thing. How to meet payroll, how to do this and that. And it went totally out of hands. So then, about 6 months into it, some Japanese people came and said, "Do you want to open a Spago in Tokyo?"
No.
I said, "No, you're crazy. I cannot run one restaurant well." So then, maybe 3 or 4 months later, they came back again with plans, and because they took pictures of everything, maybe they said it was for a magazine or who knows what. And lined up the whole kitchen, everything just like I had it at Spago. And they said, basically, we're going to open a Spago in Tokyo with you or without you. So I said, okay, open it with me. So they gave me a 30% interest, 1/3 interest in it, and we went to Japan and opened it up.
So what did you do? Did you send one of your chefs and sous chefs?
Yeah, I sent a chef, sous chefs, a manager, everything there. But
you keep training people and sending to places.
Because young people want to have opportunity. If you don't give them an opportunity, if they are very good, they will leave, Yeah. But now they know, and young people love to travel. I might not want to move to Dubai and live there, but if you're 28 years old or 30 years old and you don't have kids, you don't have nothing, I say, oh, it will be a great experience. And you make good money, you don't pay taxes, you get free housing, everything.
Of course. And you're the chef of Spago.
You're the chef of the restaurant, and you can become a local celebrity, basically,
What else do we have? I said, is there a secret for a successful restaurant? But you already said that.
If there would be a secret, I would put it in a bottle and sell it, and I would make a lot of money.
If I knew there was just one.
Yeah, if you could sell it. The thing is, everybody looks at the restaurant and they think it's so easy. So in America, you have doctors, lawyers, they all open restaurants. But they forget, they see me saying hello to the customers for an hour at night, but they forget that in the morning I went to the fish market, I went to the vegetable market.
They don't think about that.
I had to train the chef, I had to train the sous chef, I had to tell the pastry chef what I want. They don't think about that. They think it's automatic.
Just saying hi, bye.
Just kissing the pretty girls, that's it.
You're so cute. Let me see. I said, do you have a signature dish or favorite dish you enjoy cooking? What would you prefer?
I don't have really one favorite dish. It's like, I always say, I have one wife so I can have many dishes. It's cheaper. And I think I like the quality of the ingredients. And I think I love to go to the farmer's market. Like Wednesday, I went to the farmer's market in Santa Monica just to look what is there. But I also buy fruits and berries and vegetables for my house. And then our chef they buy for the restaurant.
Right.
So I really love that aspect. I love to go to the fish market to pick out the fish. Like when I came here, we went all the way over to this meat guy to pick out the meat and explain him what we want. We went to the fish market, we went where the boats come in to see what there is. And I think for me, great cooking starts with great ingredients.
Exactly. So, so do you have a favorite ingredient, let's say?
Not favorite, I don't have one favorite ingredient really. I could say I like this more than the other one. Now for me, I need salt on my food. Without salt, it's very difficult, but I love spices.
I know, I've seen Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Remember cooking in the Ellen show?
Yeah.
And it was so spicy. She was almost crying. She was like, oh,
I do.
really?
I do it on
hot?
purpose. I made it spicy.
It's hot. Spicy.
It
You
is
know,
hot
I made it
spicy.
for her.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I do a TV show, just to trick them,
Ah,
I
really?
make it really spicy, and I say, "Oh, taste it." They go,
She
"Oh, spicy."
was crying. She's like, is it a little?
And then I eat it and say, "Oh, it's not spicy. What's the matter with you?"
I remember it was so funny. I've
Oh,
seen
there-
Ellen yesterday. I've
I
seen
will
all
watch.
of them. I watched lots of show about you. So,
So where you find all these shows?
on YouTube.
On YouTube?
On YouTube.
Oh,
yeah.
I have to go. I tell my son, he knows how to do that. I don't use a computer.
You don't?
I have never,
Let me teach you.
I don't even know how to turn it on.
Really?
So who share all this Instagram? Is it you?
Yeah, no. I talk with my people, but and when I take pictures or whatever when I do, but I don't sit on the computer like by myself.
You don't have time.
Yeah.
You don't have
And then
But
like
you can
I-
use maybe tablets,
yeah,
iPads.
yeah, I should use that on the plane.
Okay.
But each time somebody gives me one, I give it to my son. I give it to this one. Or that one.
They're like,
So-
Daddy, can I have it?
Yeah,
Okay,
and
here you
then
go.
yeah, I know. For me, it's not that important. So, but because I know Ted Turner, you know, who started CNN, and one day I was talking to him in Atlanta, and I said, you know, I'm probably one of the only people who doesn't use a computer. He said, I don't use a computer.
Of course. Yeah, most
So-
people don't. They don't have time. They don't have
Yeah.
the.
And to be creative, I said, it's just like I don't do email. My wife wakes up at 4 in the morning, and then something rings on the phone, maybe, or whatever. She gets an email, then she checks it, and then she says, "Oh, I have 20 other ones," and then she starts to reply to them. I said, if I would do that, then it would be impossible.
Yeah, right.
My head would be really messed up. So I have a big excuse. I tell everybody, if I would do that, I have to take recipes out of my computer to fill in all the other stuff.
Of
So.
course, exactly. Either you have time for computer
Yeah,
or real life.
exactly.
You choose one.
So I think I like the way it is. So I would love to
know a little bit.
to know a little bit and use it, like even for traveling, like just to read.
Exactly.
I take books and my thing is so
Aw,
heavy.
still?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should get one of those iPads.
The
mini
Kindle,
iPads
but
for
yeah,
yourself.
you know, for sure,
Oh,
for
good.
sure. I always say I'm gonna get one, and then I take a book.
I can imagine Galila getting up at 5:04 because she is working with the Ethiopian manufacturer, right? For
Yeah,
for the
for sure.
fabric and
Yeah,
for the-
uh-huh.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
See, I know that
but
also.
also she handles the whole social thing. Like she had her telephone thing is like maybe she has under the A more names than me from A to Z.
Wow.
Like if we go to London, like she calls Naomi Campbell or Kate Moss or this one or that one or Michael Caine or you know, and then we have a party for like 50 people. If I would have to do it, I have nobody's number. Even I know them, but I don't have anybody's number. So she runs the whole social aspect of us, of our life, which is very important.
Yeah.
On
Let's
top of it, you know,
You share the
responsibility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roles, yeah. Let's put my name on your phone so you have at least an old best model in your phone when you get to London or something.
Okay,
You
yeah.
just call me.
Yeah, okay.
I used to be a best model. Really, it's not fun. It was
Yeah.
like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be really thin.
Yeah.
Didn't feel not like this.
No. They all have to be so thin. Like my wife is just. There's a picture of her in the new W magazine. You know W. Yeah. They did that because she's best friend with Edward Innenfeld, who he's the style director of W. So she's into fashion. Like when we're on vacation.
Did she ever do modeling? She's also very.
She
so thin.
did some, but she wasn't tall enough.
No?
Really.
She looked
That's
really
it.
tall.
Yeah, no. And she did some modeling, but not a lot. And she's shy, actually.
Yeah, I am too.
She doesn't like that.
I
So,
know, me neither.
but she likes the fashion. Like we got invited when we were on vacation. We went to Rome because Valentino had their fashion show in Rome, and then what's his name? Azulay, the fashion designer from Paris.
Azulay?